Onimusha is finally back. And while it may not be in the way many fans would have preferred, this presents the greatest chance we've had of seeing the series return to its former glory. Last September, the Onimusha anime was announced out of nowhere. Though, looking back now, it definitely appears that Capcom has plans to bring back the series to the mainstream. Several years ago, Capcom actually remastered the original Onimusha, made a patchy slot game, and shortly before the anime was announced, Onimusha was featured in Deschen, which is a card game that features many Capcom IPs, so it's pretty clear that Capcom is making a big effort to revive the series in their own way, with this anime likely being another way to test the waters. A lot of the fanbase seem to be a little wary of the anime after its announcement, fearing that it may not be very faithful to the series, or that it might not be good at all. Well, fear not, my fellow Onimusha fans, because the anime is fantastic. It does take a couple liberties regarding the original story, which we'll get into in a minute, but as a whole, this anime won't disappoint, even if you're new to the series. In fact, this is probably the best jumping on point for new fans, outside of playing the original game. A large part of this is due to the main character of the anime series, Musashi. Musashi is a completely new character to the series, and is just as new to the whole Oni thing as much as a new viewer is. I mean, he was featured in Onimusha Blade Warriors, which is a spin-off game that was heavily inspired by Super Smash Bros., but it's hardly connected to the mainline series. At first, a portion of the fanbase, myself included, were a bit upset that we weren't going to see Samanosuke or any of the other former main characters return, but let me tell you, Musashi may just be the best main character in Onimusha history. He has a lot of depth, and goes through an amazing character arc throughout the 8-episode run of the anime. I don't want to spoil too much, so I won't say much more than that, but let's just say he definitely grows from a selfish mercenary into something with many layers, like an onion. Main characters in Onimusha have never shown too much emotion. In the show, it's a big focus. The world of the Onimusha anime is anything but black and white. Every character has their own personal motivations that feel believable and well developed. The story is no longer Oni good, Genma bad. This time around, it feels like the Oni and Genma feud isn't as cut and dry as the games portrayed it. In the anime, the Genma really don't have a clear leader, at least not in the same sense as Nobunaga or Fortinbras were. The Genma are more or less pawns of the main antagonist, which are being used to further their own goals. We never really get to know too much about the Genma in the anime, but I'm sure this will be expanded upon should the anime get a second season. The biggest difference here is how the Oni are portrayed. The Oni are a bit more mysterious, and almost feels as if they're simply using Musashi to get revenge on the Genma above all else, as opposed to wanting to stop their chaos for the greater good. The Oni Gauntlet helps drive this home, as it takes a toll on Musashi each time he uses it, which is a completely new feature of the Gauntlet. The new gauntlet design also helps make it seem a bit more menacing. It now has tendrils that cling to the user's arm like a parasite, giving off the vibe that it's actively leeching the user's energy. It also seems to possess the user in a way, as in one instance, Musashi almost becomes an Onimusha, and begins to actually mutilate the corpses of fallen Genma. This isn't something the good side, in quotes, would really be doing, and again, makes it seem like the Oni aren't as good as they seemed in the games. Because of all of these reasons, the gauntlet isn't featured as prominently as some may expect, but it also makes it feel much more effective and high stakes when it is. There are also a lot of morally gray aspects of the story, and the color palette and design of the visuals as a whole reflects that. I usually favor vibrant and flashy visuals, but Onimusha actually has me craving more dark and gloomy settings. This goes a long way in building the world and vibe of the anime, and helps highlight those moments that actually are super vibrant and fast-paced. If you're a fan of the games, you know what moments I'm talking about. The 3D design is also amazing. I was never disappointed by the visuals, and I thought it looked perfect throughout the entire 8-episode run. It's pulled off so well that you'll likely forget its 3D animation at some points. It strikes that perfect balance of doing a lot without doing too much, and I love it. If you're an Onimusha fan on the fence about watching the anime, do yourself a favor and watch it. Not only is this one of the best animes I've ever seen, the music, battles, characters, and overall vibe will take you back to a time when gaming was different and more special. As a longtime fan, I can tell you with complete confidence that you won't be disappointed. Anytime there's a big gaming event like the Game Awards, I've admittedly spent almost a whole time hoping that I would see Onimusha show up in some form, only to leave disappointed every single time for over a decade. Onimusha is very special to me for many reasons, and I can tell you that I definitely shed a few tears of nostalgia while watching the show. And by the time the credits rolled on the last episode, I was in tears. Here's a cringe photo of me bawling at 6 AM after I finished the series as proof. Like I said, this series means a lot to me. They were able to recapture what made it feel special all those years ago. And while it may not be a direct continuation featuring all the characters we know and love, it still felt like Onimusha to me, and that's what matters. I say all of this to tell you to please go watch Onimusha. Give some love to this amazing series. Trust me, you won't be disappointed in the slightest. And if you like the anime, give the games a chance. They're some of the best games the PS2 has to offer. Have you guys seen the anime? What did you think? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. I really loved making this video, and I plan on doing similar videos soon. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.